in sort of the 12-step fellowship philosophy and the language of that recovery community. They talk about people can get arrested, they can go to jail, they can lose their homes, you can take their kids away, you can pray over them, you can threaten them, you can beat them, you can abandon them, but they won't stop using until they want to stop using. And people generally stop using because the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of changing. And so when they get to that spiritual bottom, like I said, that crisis of that sort of critical crisis, a spiritual crisis, they decide to change. You decide to change because you can't continue the way it was, because it was too bad. You couldn't go on another moment like that. You have to do something different. That will only carry you so far, because when you stop and you make that change, gradually the circumstances that drove you to that point start going away. You start feeling good. You start coming back into yourself. You start having some success. You start getting spiritually developed. You start building real relationships. You start being your authentic self. Life gets good. And the fear of going back is no longer going to motivate you. What you have to be motivated by is getting more out of life, like more of the good things, right? If the only way that I can motivate you is the threat of something bad happening to you, what's the payoff? It's like the value proposition is avoidance of a negative rather than a benefit. So there's no benefit. There's only avoidance of a detriment. And that's what we try and build in is, what do you want to get out of life? What are your goals in recovery? Not just stopping drugs. So you've stopped drugs. Now, how are you going to reward yourself? What are you going to get for stopping drugs? Not what are you going to not have to suffer through anymore.
If you or a loved one are looking for help with substance abuse, call our 24/7 helpline at 1-800-615-1067. A caring addiction advisor is awaiting your call.